Picture this. You rent a movie. You forget to return it. They hit you with a $40 late fee. You wince. You feel cheated. You wonder, why must there be penalties? That exact frustration, small, personal, would go on to ignite a revolution. A revolution that destroyed Blockbuster, rewrote Hollywood's rules, and made Netflix a global giant. But when Netflix began, they weren't streaming shows, they weren't in Hollywood. They were mailing DVDs. Simple, ambitious, crazy. So how did the mail-order DVD idea become one of the most powerful storytelling platforms on Earth? That is what we're about to find out. And the story of how that idea almost died a dozen times is what makes Netflix rise truly unbelievable. In the 1990s, if you wanted a movie, you went to a store. Blockbuster had nearly 9,000 stores across the US. Bright blue and gold signs lit up strip malls everywhere. People loved browsing shelves. But Blockbuster had a dark underbelly, late fees. If you missed the return date, it added up fast. Blockbuster made hundreds of millions each year from these fees. It was hidden, predictable income. And it turned customers into prisoners of their own rentals. No one liked it. Yet no one had a better option.
What nobody knew was that Blockbuster's golden goose, the late fee, would become the very crack that destroyed them.
Before Netflix, there were two men. Reed Hastings, Mark Randolph. Reed, a math and computer whiz. He went to Bodo in college, then later got a master's degree in computer science from Stanford. He co-founded Pure Software, sold it, grew rich, but restless. Mark Randolph, marketer, salesman, entrepreneur. He had a feel for consumer behavior. He believed in testing, in getting your hands dirty. They met in Silicon Valley. They bounced ideas, they dreamed. And one idea slowly turned into a vision. They didn't set out to disrupt Hollywood. They just hated late fees.
But fixing that small problem would put them on a collision course with the biggest movie rental empire in the world. You've probably heard the story. Reed rented Apollo 13, forgot to return it, got a $40 fine and thought, there has to be a better way. It's a great story, easy to retell, and Hastings himself told it in interviews. But here's the catch. It may not be literally true. Blockbuster cannot find records of that exact $40 transaction. Mark Randolph has suggested it's more symbolic than factual, a founder myth. Yet, myths matter. They help us grasp motive, character, tension. So we'll use it, but with caution. That $40 story is storytelling shorthand, not forensic history. And to test this crazy idea, they try something no one else dare. Reed and Mark test the idea. They take a DVD, put it in an envelope, ship it across town. 2 days later, it arrives. Intact. Playable. Suddenly, what seemed absurd looked possible. Mailing movies might just work. They refine the idea. Use red and white envelopes. Label them Netflix. Track who wants what. Optimize routing in the postal system. They begin building logistics, inventory strategies. They prototype a simple website listing titles. They experiment with demand, response times, errors. Every failure taught them something. But could this simple idea scale? Or would it collapse under the weight of reality? August 29, 1997. Netflix is founded. Reed, Mark, a small team, some servers, a catalog. At first, they offer per rental pricing. You pay per DVD. You log in, choose, they mail. Return when done, or keep paying. But sales are slow. Customer numbers trickle. The cost of postage, inventory, wear and tear, all bite their margins. To survive, Netflix raises capital. Angel investors, venture capital. They borrow, they hustle. In early years, they lose millions. It's a fight to just stay alive. And with money running out,
the founders were forced to gamble on an entirely new business model. To escape the rent per DVD trap, they try something new. A subscription model. Pay a flat monthly fee. Keep a few DVDs at once. No due dates, no late fees. This changes everything. Now, revenue is predictable. User behavior becomes more comfortable. Churn is manageable. They test, they tweak, they align pricing, catalog size, logistics. Slow growth, but meaningful growth. To scale, they need smarts. So Netflix builds recommendation systems. They create Cinematch, an engine to predict what you might like. Rate movies, collect feedback, suggest new ones. That helps retention. People stay subscribed when the service knows their taste. It's not perfect, but it's an edge. They also build backend systems to monitor inventory, route disks, cache usage data. They hire engineers, they invest in data infrastructure. These technological bets pay off later. In 2000, Netflix makes an offer. Blockbuster, buy us for roughly $50 million. Let us run your online arm. Blockbuster says no. They see Netflix as a toy. They ignore the threat. In hindsight, that's one of the greatest business mistakes ever. While Blockbuster clung to stores and late fees, Netflix edged forward. Blockbuster was slow to adapt, burdened by overhead, real estate, legacy systems. By mid-2000s, Netflix subscriber count soared. Blockbuster's cash machine faltered. And in 2010, Blockbuster files for bankruptcy. Because while Blockbuster laughed, Netflix quietly prepared to change the world. Netflix watches technology evolve. Broadband gets faster. Users want instant access. 2007. Netflix adds streaming. Small catalog, low resolution, but proof of concept. Then they pour resources into servers, content pipelines, licensing deals. By 2013, Netflix releases House of Cards, its first major original series. Hollywood scoffs, but critics and viewers love it. It wins awards, it sets a precedent. Originals become Netflix's identity. It's no longer just a platform, it's a studio. Netflix expands globally. And if Hollywood was shaken by House of Cards, it had no idea what was coming next. Markets, Canada, Latin America, Europe, Asia. They localize content, languages, recommendations. They drop huge hits, Stranger Things, Narcos, The Crown, Squid Game. They experiment with formats, genres, docuseries, animation. By 2020, over 200 million subscribers in nearly 190 countries. Netflix becomes synonymous with modern storytelling. They face challenges, competition, Disney+, Amazon, Apple TV+, rising costs, licensing wars. But their origin remains core. Convenience, data, bold pivots. Netflix's internal culture is legendary. Freedom and responsibility. High performance, honest communication. Reed & Co. believe in trust, not strict controls. They publish culture decks that go viral in Silicon Valley. Their leadership style encourages smart risk, creativity, speed. Lessons we all can borrow. Test quickly, fail fast and learn. Bet on tech plus data. Keep customer experience central. Adapt or die. Go back to that moment. A $40 late fee. A frustration in the 1990s America. That spark, small, personal, grew into something huge. A company that changed how we consume stories. Blockbuster laughed, Hollywood doubted, but Netflix persisted. So next time you hit play on your Netflix app, remember, it all started with Apollo 13 and one man's desire to make renting fair.